I'm Luis Solana. I'm a supply chain expert, having doing that for 30 years in my career. Today, I pivot my interest out of operating supply chains to investing in supply chains. There were several insights that came out of the panel. Um, Probably one of those, probably the most insightful, at least that is not that obvious to a lot of the people, is how to justify the inventory positioning and the inventory improvements that organization can get. You know, you end up reducing waste. You end up being better integration from the demand planning to the supply planning. A lot of companies have IBP cycles and IBP process implemented. And if you think that a tool like this enables that process, and if it really that process, IBP is the backbone of how they're running the business, this provides a lot better insights, a lot better numbers, a lot better proactive, forward-looking that should enable better decisions, and eventually those decisions translate into being able to improve the inventory position, build less safety stock, shorter the cycle stocks, do better manufacturing scheduling. So inventory is the one that I think not obvious, but I think is the most, even down the road, is the most powerful in the balance sheet. I firmly believe that supply chain should be an enabler for growth in the business. So if you just position it as cost savings, you fall short. This enables the business to do better service, grow top line, and naturally with that, you improve the traditional supply chain metrics. A lot of companies fall in it, make the mistake of assuming that it's just a new technology tool. It's bigger than that. It's an enabler for efficiency in the full organization. So when it's positioned internally just as it's a new tool, a better, sleeker a solution, it falls short internally when you're selling it. And then the change management is tougher because people don't get excited about the potential. The justification financially gets tougher because everybody's going to argue, and the CFO is going to challenge you about why don't you keep using your spreadsheets or whatever the tool you're using. So it's beyond that. It's an enabler to really grow the business. And I firmly believe that supply chain should be an enabler for growth in the business. So if you just position it as cost savings, you fall short. This enables the business to do better service, grow top line, and naturally with that, you improve the traditional supply chain metrics, the cost, the inventory, but it should not be undersold as just a savings project or a new tool. It's transformational for the business when you go with a tool like this one. When people get it, they throw. So the math is logical, right? You have an ROI, you have an investment, you're going to get this service, you're going to get these savings on inventory. The heart sometimes is underestimated as the importance to drive change in an organization. Every time that I tried in my career to do change without creating a burning platform, without really rallying the troops behind it, without really creating this guiding coalition of who's going to drive the change with an organization, the change falls short, and sometimes it doesn't even take off. So to me, that soft side that comes on a leadership position in the supply chain space to lead a transformative journey is paramount. It's underestimated, sometimes forgotten, but is a super important foundation in any big transformation journey. So.